Hi everyone, we are going to be doing some colouring from this gorgeous free download by Rita Berman. Now Rita Berman has made this only available for a limited time period. It is to go with her Meine, Reise, Durch, Afrika colouring book, which is released on the 29th of September. And this sheet has some ideas of different bits and pieces from the book, so I gather. Now I'm going to start colouring and explain a little more as I go. Now these are quite small little pictures, so I have grabbed my Staedtler pencils because I feel that we're going to need something quite small, that that I can sharpen to a nice fine tip. So I've grabbed number 6. We're going to just get started right away. Number 6 is the violet. Just getting out my name chart, and I'm going to do the sky while I talk to you. So the what Rita does is when she gets a new book is she makes a download, but she only makes it available to download for a couple of weeks, and after that you can't download it. However, if you aren't ready to colour it yet, you can download it and then just hang on to it until you are ready. So although it feels like there's a bit of a rush, there's only a rush to save it. It's not a rush to colour it. However, she does have a little competition going on, as far as I can tell, where you put your sort of coloured pictures up and she's going to pick some to get a book, a free book. I think this is on her Instagram page, so there's the details of that. I'm not I don't tend to do competitions and things, but occasionally I do. I was very tempted to do Johanna Basford's one for her the Secret Garden book, but I've completed so many copies of Secret Garden, 2 books, a lot of postcards. I've got a couple of artist editions, calendar, all sorts of things. So I've done so many, and the miniature book as well I've completed. So I sort of figured that new one, although it looks really lovely and it'd be nice to have in a way, I thought it was someone else's turn to have a go. But she did include a sort of little goodie bag, and oof, that would be amazing. I'd love to know what was in that. She's already announced the winners and sent the prizes out by now. I'd like to know what was in the little goodie bag, because I just like that. I'm sure we all would. So I'm chosen a purple because I think it's a pretty colour, and this is a sort of night sky, but it doesn't have to be black or dark blue. It's just a little bit different, isn't it? I'm not sure how. I'm going to make the sky go down here, I think. Yeah, although this should probably be sand. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there now. I'm thinking a few of the sky areas I might do just a little bit bluey. So I'm using this one. This is number 33, which is our darkest blue. It's the cobalt. And I'm just going to do a little bit on the edges, just to make it a little bit different. Just across the top. So anyway, yes, this is for Rita's new book, so it's all quite exciting. I haven't done enough colouring in her other books yet for me to really justify getting a new one, but we'll see. I haven't ordered it. I was very fortunate that for Rita's last book, this is 61, which is the dark mauve, she actually sent me a copy, which I was really surprised and excited by. So I'm not expecting the same to happen this time. I'm sure there'll be different people that she'll send it to sort of showcase it, but it was so kind of her. And she sent me a set of the postcards too. Actually, I sent a few of those to my niece the other day because I haven't coloured them all, and she sometimes does a little bit of colouring, and she's just gone away to uni, so I thought she might like a little sort of self-care package, so I sent her some stickers and some colouring and things. I'm not sure what colour to do the pyramids, and we've got the camel. I think I'm going to do the camel first. I'm going to start with this sort of sand, which is number 11. Because I want him to stand out. I'm going to try and make him lighter and then do these things in the background a little bit darker. But I thought if I do him first, then I'll know where I'm at, because I'm not just going to do him yellow because that's a little bit bright. I think, sorry, I'm just getting distracted checking my messages again from my boys. They've both been messaging me, which is really kind of them, just letting me know that they've got to uni and things like that. One of them is actually in a class and he's messaging me, which is a bit naughty. The inside of the ear, I never know whether to do it a different colour or the same colour, but it's going to have this sort of base of this sand colour, and then I'm going to go over it with a slightly darker colour. Yeah, he's going, oh, it's so easy, this is really enough. But it's nice to just have him in touch with me, knowing that he's okay. So that's good. But he had a bit of a stress because he forgot his pass, so he couldn't get in any of the doors, but he's obviously managed to get into his class okay. But I'm sure people must forget their passes all the time, so it's I'm sure it'll be fine. But it's just, you know, first day of proper lessons and you forget your part. I mean, what a nuisance. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It's all learning, isn't it? It's not just the academic side of learning, it's doing the new thing. Now that's really bright, but we're going to go in with the 16, which is our golden ochre. And all this is an Ergosoft. I'm not using Ergosoft, they're really sticky. I'm going to use my Staedtler Design Journey 16 in the same colour. And I'm going to actually probably go over all of this, or a lot of it. I might just leave the middle a bit paler, but he's a bit too yellow for my liking. And if you want him really bright, that's fine. But I'm just taking it down a bit, leaving some maybe in the middle, so putting a bit on each end, and then maybe lighter in the center. I think it's coming along nicely now. I'm happy with that. As I say, I don't want him too dark because I want him to stand out. He's our, he's going to be our sort of focal point, I think. And we need some colours for the sand and things like that. And the pyramids, which would just do a bit darker. And hopefully they'll sort of fade back. There's a lot of detail in this picture, so I'm trying to, you know, think about how to make it a little simpler, but keeping all the fun. So there's our camel. I'm rather liking him. Just going to put a little bit more there, like that. And then my son just sent me a really funny, he's just sent me a message saying, integers aren't 2 bytes, they're 4 miss. I don't know what that means. Ah, I'm paying £9,000 a year for this. So in other words, the teacher's got it wrong, he thinks. This is number 49, the fawn. Poor lad. And I'm going to do some of this background. I think this sort of cross-hatched part of the ground here. Now I'm actually colouring quite lightly today. I've got a bit of a sore hand. I think it's a repetitive strain injury. I don't think it's from colouring. I wouldn't want to, I really hope it isn't. I think it's because I had my holiday and I wasn't using my computer for a week and then suddenly I was again. I think it might be that. I'm going to also use this colour up here. And so I think that's what it was. So yeah, it's been a bit sore, so I'm just trying not to push too hard because I don't want to hurt my hand. So if it's looking a little pale, you can always go a bit darker than me, but I'm just being a bit cautious because I don't want to cause myself more injury and then not be able to colour at all. Imagine. This is 73, which is the burnt sienna. We're getting a bit dark now, but we need this camel to stand out. So we're just going to go in here and fill in this bit, but yeah, it's quite dark, but I think it'll be fine. And I'm going to do, I don't know whether that's supposed to be like little steps or something going up to the pyramids or not. I'm not sure. I'm going to do this bit down here as well. Our cacti, so I'll keep, and actually this bit. I'm not doing the stones. I think I'm going to do those in, I'm tempted to, actually that's a bit of the cacti I'm thinking, not stone. There's stones up here though. I'm tempted to do them in grey just so we've got a different colour going on, but I haven't decided yet. But number 72 is the dark sand, and we're going to use that for the sort of rest of the ground really. I'm thinking, so in here, I wouldn't really, this is quite red isn't it, but some sand is dark, this sort of colour, and here. See this bit in here, I'm unsure. I put a bit in there. I think I'm going to grab the 49, which was the fawn, and do a bit in here. This was our colour that we used down there. I'm going to sort of take it up to there and then put that bit of sky, just sort of working it out as I go along really. There we go. And I think I might actually do this bit to this colour, just sort of filling in the gaps really, aren't I? And then we'll have to, I've got an idea for our pyramids in a minute. So I need to just fit in that little bit of sky. So the number 6, the is it violet? Yeah. In here, look. Oops, I've gone over the top of one of those little dots. I was trying to avoid colouring over those. But I think I've coloured them over all the way through. Never mind. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to do the cacti next because I know I want a sort of really bluey green colour. So number 38, it is called the sea green, and I think it'll just be right. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. So yeah, 38. And I'm going to try and make them a little darker near the main part and near the base of this little bit. The same here. There we go. And then a bit darker at the bottom. And I'm thinking I'm going to sort of put these lines in with some dark strands. Strikes, whatever, strokes, that's the word. Sorry. I'll get there. It's Monday morning. Just trying to get into everything. Had a busy week last week. The children having their induction week at uni. My other son, my one that's not messaging me about his lessons, has got a second week of induction. I'm going to do the palm trees in this colour as well. To start with, I'm going to do the sort of centre bit here. I think this would be a bit darker, and then take that up to the, like that, and then I'm going to grab another colour for the ends. Yeah, my other son has got a second week of induction, and they basically got someone coming in from industry to talk to them. And so they've got some sort of project work to do. This is green, number 5. I'm going to finish these. So yeah, he hasn't got lessons proper, but yeah. I think he just wants to get started really, and he's got to go in most days, more often than he will normally. But of course, because all the work they're doing is pretty much being done on site rather than at home. Right when they start their classes, I think there's a lot of work, expectation to do work at home. Now, I'm trying to think what colour, whether the pyramids are grey or whether they sort of sandy colour, and I'm assuming they're sandy colour really. Right, we have little dots here like they're some, you know, I was going to say pumpkins. They're really not. I think you might find that they're actually coconuts. Oh dear. Anyways, I'm going to use number 77. The tobacco brown, not an orange. Don't colour them orange, they're not pumpkins. Oh dear, yeah, Halloween's coming. I've just been colouring a pumpkin in a previous video. It's not really an excuse that my brain's just going to rot. And the trunk, which I'm going to do lightly and then put extra colour on the edges to give it hopefully a bit of shape. There we go. Maybe that's a bit too light. And this one as well. Okay, now where are we at? We have got the flowers on the cacti, and I'm going to do them in orange, or sort of orangey red. That's the colour I think they should be, but I've got no, that's the colour I see cacti flowers being. So I'm thinking 24, which is called Scarlet Red, but I actually feel that it's quite, yeah, definitely got an orangey look to it. So that's what I'm going to use just for these bits. I mean, you might feel these should be green and part of the cacti. If you know more about cacti than me, you might know. But I'm happy doing them that colour. Now, I'm going to do next our pyramids, and then I can think about how to help our camel to stand out more. Because I feel like they should be this colour, the 16, the golden ochre. So I'm going to just go over the whole of them in this colour. Just over the whole pyramid. That's a bit of, I think that's a bit of the camel's decoration. Now my thought is that if I can make the pyramids sink back into the background, I'm going to colour right over those pumpkins. Sorry, I hope I'm making you chuckle and not making you get cross. Then I'm thinking this bit be a bit darker. So really fill that in. It's a really pretty colour, this, when you layer it down. I much prefer it when it goes down a bit more thickly, but we're trying to give the impression that these are a bit more three-dimensional, so we've got a bit more colour on that one side. I mean, and the light's sort of more hitting this side. I'm going to put a little bit more down on these, but not tons. So like that. Excuse me. Now we have these stones. I'm still not sure what colour to do them really. I'm thinking they probably wouldn't be grey. They'd probably be made of the sand colour. So I'm going to grab the 49, which is our fawn, and do them in that colour. I'm going to give it a sharpen. You need really sharp pencils. Keep sharpening. There we go. So 49. Oh, sorry, don't come closer. And I'm going to make them dark around the edge, a bit lighter in the middle if I can. bit tricky with such a pale colour. There we go. Now, just going to colour that in, it's a bit messy. Now we've got our camels, we've got the stars to do actually. Am I going to do them in I'm going to give that some thought. We're going to do the camel and we're going to make him bright. Now we've got this sort of a scarlet red that we use for the cacti. I'm going to start with that actually. So that is the number 24. And I'm going to do this part of his blanket, maybe? Is that what they put on them? With this. And some of these. Like that. Okay. But we're going to introduce some new colours as well. So I'm going to find a blue. Oh, we've got a blue. We've used a blue already. We used this blue we've used already. 33, it's the cobalt blue. I'm just mixing the colours up a lot because I just want it to look really bright and cheerful and colourful. And we'll do like that. And we use this colour. This is the 61, which I think is the dark mauve. Do this bit. Now this is only a little teeny bit here, so I think I'm going to also do this bit with this colour. And I'm hoping that these sort of bright colours will help him to stand out. And we can do some more of these. Like that. Yeah, now we need a green. I'm going to use the 5, which is the, I think it's just green, isn't it? 5? Yeah, green. And I'm going to do this sort of tuft. These tufty bits. And the harness. Now these are tricky. I've coloured over most of them in the wrong colour. I'm just going to do my best. Whoops. Like that. And then this bit. So we've got a tufty bit on here and a tufty bit on here. Sort of makes sense, I think. Now what else should we use? Could use some purple. Yeah, let's do some purple from the sky. This is the violet, actually number 6. I'm going to keep this a little simple by doing it like that. Otherwise I think I would get myself in a muddle. And we need one last colour. I really feel it needs something lighter, but we don't. I'm going to use a colour I've used before because that's what we've been doing. 72, the dark sand. But I'm going to make it quite dark so it looks more like a red. Because that is this colour. But if we layer it up, it looks a bit darker. There we go. Now our sky, our stars. What I've decided to do with the stars is to use the 61, make them pink. But lightly. I don't want them really dark, so I'm just going to press really gently. I haven't decided what to do with that moon yet though. I know stars aren't pink. Well, some might be. They're actually all different colours, aren't they? You could use a sparkly pen for the stars. I'm going to use a sparkly pen at the end, but not quite that way. I feel like I want a really pale blue for my moon. So I'm going to grab a new colour just for the moon. We have this pastel blue, number 302. I'm I'm going to use that. Like that. Now what I'm going to do, just as my final bit, is to try and get my camel to really stand out. I'm going to use the Tobacco Brown 77 to do some shadowing around him to try to get him to feel like he's a bit more forward on the page than everything else. Now, normally I would just do the shadow below. I'm thinking if I go all round the edge of him, he may stand out. I'm hoping he'll stand out and just look like this sort of special, you know, feature of the page. He is so cute. There we go. I'm hoping that's just made him stand out just a tad more. So, yeah. So there we go. I think that's done. I am happy with our camel and desert sort of scene. You could put a dark line around some of the other features to make them stand out as well, but I really just want the camel, and I think it worked quite well. I wasn't sure, to be honest, whether it would work, but there he is. Yes, so I'm going to leave that now. I will be doing other ones from this page. My aim is to try and get them done before the deadline for entering her contest, but I really don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve that because I've got other things I need to record for you as well, so we'll just see. I'm not going to get myself panicked about it, but that might start you off. I'll probably be able to work it out, but anyway, you can always just colour it for yourself and then have a go with me as well if you want, because obviously you can print off as many as you like. But that's me for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a really super day and happy colouring.